Hey everybody, Trent from the Trenternet here. So after my last video, I received lots of comments, some good, some bad, some very angry that I criticized Tekken 8. But today I'm not here to criticize Tekken 8. I just wanted to talk about that last DLC character. So as you know, I had thrown my hat in the ring with the people who believed that it was Marduk, Lydia, and Fahkumram. I firmly believe that. I was wrong. So that being said, that means there's another DLC character that we have no clue what it is. And so I thought it would be fun today to do one of these Who Is It tier list type challenges. So what I've done here, I've gone to Tier Maker and I've found a list that someone made, which is a tier list of all the Tekken characters in the series. And I believe it also includes Tekken 8 characters, so yeah, we're good to go here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go and sort everybody by what I think their chances are of becoming the next DLC character. Now keep in mind, it could be a brand new character or it could be a guest character. And so if I had to rank the chances of that, I would say very possible. So my tiers are good chance, very possible, less likely, very unlikely, no chance, and already in the game. For characters, of course, they're already in the game. I would throw guest character and new character both in this very possible tier. I just think that it's very likely that we're going to see some new original character or a guest character for that fourth slot. I know Harada really wanted to focus on existing characters first and that sort of thing, and he said a guest character would have to be mutually beneficial for Tekken and the other property. So I definitely think there will be guests in the future for 8. I just don't know who it is yet because I think they're still trying to figure it out. They may be playing ball with, SNK and some other companies to see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started here and let's go through the list. Let's just see. So first off in this list we have Akuma. I'm going to say that this is, that's really tough. I'm going to say very unlikely. I don't think it's completely impossible just because Akuma actually found his way into the story of Tekken 7. I think it would be very unlikely. It would be one of the first instances outside of something like Smash Brothers where a guest character has come back for a subsequent entry. I'm not aware of another case where that happened. Maybe it did. Alex, I think it's very possible that we see Alex. Where's Roger / Roger Jr.? Let's go ahead and put him. We'll consider these guys the same character. So, some of those early leaks that had like Eddie and this Zhao Ming character in Armor King also included Roger and Alex. It seems like all the leaks out there are incorrect, at least for the time being. But I do think that Roger and Alex, they have a good chance. The game needs some more wacky animal throwback characters. I think Roger and Alex would be a good choice. I did see an interview with IGN recently where Harada talked about why some of the sillier characters, like your Rogers and Alexes and Mokujins, haven't been making it into the newer games. You can probably Google and find that article. So that's why I put this into very possible. I think it's been a while since either of them have seen the light of day, and that they could probably come out and shine if Namco was in the right mood. Elisa Boskanovich, of course, already in the game. Ancient Ogre, I'm going to say less likely just because Ogre is so important to the game's story. I think that if he were going to make an appearance, it would be in some sort of story expansion or like Tekken 9 or something like that. I don't know that he would just show up as a DLC. A lot of people wanted this guy for 7, and I just think he's like Jun Kazama. He's too important story-wise. You got Angel. I'm going to say no chance for the same reason that stuff like Mokujin is not in the game and some of the sub-boss characters like Prototype Jack haven't been in the game in a while. I think if she came back, it would be some sort of major overhaul. You got the whole Angel Jin thing that happened in the story of Tekken 8. I just don't see Angel being a DLC character. They wouldn't, especially with Heihachi, you're not going to sell 2 Mishimas in a row. It just doesn't make sense. Anna Williams, I'll say good chance. If it was Anna Williams, I want Anna Williams back. I played a lot of Anna Williams in Tekken 7. I would be kind of miffed if she did come back because this would be another Tekken 7 DLC rehash. But since they've shown that they're very willing to rehash recent DLC characters and Tekken 7 appearing characters and that sort of thing, I think there's a very good chance Anna Williams could pop into that slot. Armor King, same thing. He would be, I want Armor King back really bad, but he would also be kind of a, wait, we paid for this last time. Why are we paying for this again in Season 1? That said, he's extremely popular as a fan favorite. He seems to be one of those characters Namco has decided they're going to sell and make money off of from now on. So I think Armor King is in the good chance tier. Asuka, of course, already in the game. Beiku Dosan, I don't think guy's got a chance. I mean, he's basically King 1 except with the Taekwondo and Hwarang. So I just don't see that happening. Not going to happen. Bob Richards, very unlikely. I guess it is possible, but Bob was, he's kind of like a Mishima. He was never really the fan favorite character. I just don't think that Bob comes back. He's just not very popular. Bruce Irving, I think this is very possible. Bruce's problem is he's going to have to beat out Fahkumram and he's going to have to beat out Jose Rizal. I think Bruce could probably beat Jose, but I don't know if they would put him in before Fahkumram because it seems kind of weird to me that Fahkumram would be a brand new character that's just a one and done. I mean, the guy saw a lot of tournament usage, best I remember, for 7. So I think, especially with him being a Michael Murray creation, Murray probably wants his character back in the game. So I could see him coming back over Bruce here. Brian Fury, of course, already in the game. I'm going to say no chance for Christy just because we got Eddie as a DLC. And so if you sell Christy, you're essentially saying, hey, buy the same character twice. So she's either going to have such a severe remake that she's no longer Christy Monteiro, or I have thought that in the future they might do what I would call premium costumes, which is just like a costume that you buy for a character that's already in the game, which changes them into a new character. So for example, you would buy the premium costume for Eddie and it would be Christy. So when you selected it, now the voice announcer would say Christy Monteiro, and it would have Christy's win animations and that sort of thing. I don't know if they'll expend the effort, but that's the only way I see Christy coming back for Tekken 8. Claudio, of course, already in the game. Combat is one of those weird Mokujin characters. They're not going to sell you a random select character. It's just not going to happen. Unless he's some sort of free update or something, not going to happen. Devil Jin's already in the game. I don't think Kazumi will come back just because she's a boss. I just don't see it happening. It's just not happening. They're not going to bring her back that quick. Her kind of story beat has passed for the time being. Okay, let's take a look at Devil Kazuya, I guess, or Devil. Devil is pretty much just Kazuya's, rage or heat mode now. So there's no reason to bring Devil into this game. And Dr. Boskanovich, I think, is very unlikely. He's a weird gimmick character. He made an appearance in Tag 2 as one of the DLCs you got for pre-ordering. Just don't think that he will be sold. Especially with the direction they're trying to go with this game, I think he's too much of a super in-depth specialist character for people in this game. Who else we got? Dragunov already in the game. Eddie already in the game. I think Eliza is very unlikely because she was a pre-order bonus last time. Of course, they are willing to double dip with DLCs. But the 2D characters, a lot of people bellyached about 2D characters, and kind of rightfully so, because Geese and Akuma were incredibly strong in Tekken 7, and they weren't really playing Tekken. So I think they're kind of hesitant to bring Eliza or this guy back. I just don't think that's happening. Fahkumram, there was a lot of rumors out there that he was coming instead of Heihachi and the characters we got. He still could be that 4th character. I think it's very possible. I don't think we've seen the last of Fahkumram. There's a lot of smoke around him, so could some of it be true? Maybe. Who knows? I just think he will be coming back. Feng Wei's already in the game. I'm not sure if this is Martial or Forest Law, but either way, already in the game. Gun Ryu, I would say no chance, but I'm going to go very unlikely because I think he's one of those characters the dev team really likes, even though he's extremely unpopular. I'm getting crazy text over here and the dog's barking. I apologize. I'm doing this video live off the cuff. Let's see who else we got. Geese Howard, I think no chance. Same reason as these guys, but worse. He's a guest character. He's a 2D character. They're trying to make Tekken 8 more accessible and easier. The 2D characters were hard to play. They were hard to fight against. Very strong characters. I don't think Geese will be back for that reason. Gigas, I'm really willing to put him at the top of the no chance tier, maybe right under somebody like Angel just because she's so unique. Gigas, nobody played Gigas. He was extremely weak. Obviously Namco didn't want him to be strong, or he would have been by the end of the game. And he's kind of intrinsically tied to Katarina Alves. So, you know, maybe if they bring her back at some point, he'll make a cameo. I don't think we see Gigas again for a while. Gon, no chance. He was a guest character in Tekken 3. He's based off a Japanese manga character. Hold on, my pinball's talking to me. Sorry about that. Why is it when I try to make a video, every voice, animal, person, you name it in the neighborhood decides to make noise? I don't get it. Anyway, Gon, no chance. They're not going to buy the rights to Gon again. That was kind of a one-off thing. Heihachi will throw into the already in tier because he's going to be included as DLC. Hwarong's already there. Jack's already there. JC, a.k.a. Julia Chang. Or Chang, rather. Sorry, Julia Chang. Where would I put Julia Chang? I'm going to put these ladies into the less likely tier. And it's just because I think that, you know, she was already a very tail end of Tekken DLC character. I think she was, what, end of Season 3? Something like that. Season 3, late in the game for Tekken 7, she was added. Very strong character DLC-wise. One of the stronger DLCs. I just don't know. I think for whatever reason, Namco has kind of lost faith in the Changs. You know, they got rid of Michelle Chang and they replaced her with the much younger Julia Chang, and she kind of rode the wave and then didn't make it into Tekken 7 for a long time. They are willing to repeat DLCs, obviously, but I just don't know if they're willing to repeat this DLC. I don't think they would do that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about any of this. Jinpachi. I think Jinpachi is very unlikely just because he's so popular as a boss character. Or not popular, but important to the series. If he's back, there's some sort of other lore going on. You know, we got the whole story DLC about Heihachi. I think there could be a Jinpachi tease at the end of it. That seems like something they might do. Like Reina resurrects Heihachi and accidentally brings back Jinpachi, and boom, you got your stinger for Tekken 9 right there. Maybe. But I think it would be just like a, hey, guess what's coming, rather than a, we're going to sell you Jinpachi. Gen Kazama, already in the game. I'm going to put Jose Rizal at the top of the less likely tier. You know, or maybe, this one's really tough. This is really tough. I think she's got a better chance than Bruce, unfortunately. I really like Bruce. I think he should come back over these two because he's the OG, but they're going to have to spice him up. Like, he's going to have something. I think maybe they think Bruce is a little too plain, and that's why they haven't brought him back. But he's got so much potential. I mean, the dude's like Kazuya's bodyguard, and, you know, he's got ties to the Zaibatsu. He seems like he's a good guy, but he's got kind of a bad side, too. There's so much you could do with Bruce Irving that would be way more interesting than these two here. But I just think that Josie and Fahkumram are more liked by the current dev team at Namco. Jun Kazama is already in the game. Katarina, let's put her somewhere around Bob and Akuma. Maybe put Akuma here. I just think that Katarina is really tied with Gigas. You know, she's a very beginner-friendly character. I don't know why they dropped her so quick. You know, they could have just came in and said, like, she solved her daddy issues with Gigas, and now she's entering the tournament because she's free to be her own person. But she wasn't. So don't really understand what's going on. I don't know why Katarina didn't come back. You know, with the Tekken 8 beginner-friendly focus, I think that she would have been a good choice. But she didn't make it for whatever reason. Maybe her pick numbers were really low. I'm not sure. I guess it's possible. You know, we'll move her up. We'll put her... I think she's definitely got a shot before Ancient Ogre. And I'm going to move him below the Changs here. Kazumi... no chance. We'll put her... I guess this devil was supposed to be Devil Kazumi and this is supposed to be regular. We'll put them in no chance. I don't think that's happening. Already here, already here, already here. Kunimitsu won. She's been retired. Only one character has got to supersede their replacement, and that was martial law for whatever reason. So I think OG Kuni is probably done. I think Kunimitsu is very possible. I would put her above... Oh, goodness. Where do I put her? And I'm biased because I like to play Kunimitsu a lot. Where would I put Kunimitsu? You know, she was a DLC in Season 4. So you would think, oh, she's not coming for a while, but then there's Lydia. Literally the last DLC character for Tekken 7 made it first season of Tekken 8. It's such a good design, you hate to waste it. I don't know, I think she's got to go up here in very possible. And I am biased, I do want her back. I definitely think she has a better chance than these guys. Than Bruce, certainly. We'll see. Lars already in the game. Law's already in the game. Lee's here. Lei Wulong, I think he hovers somewhere around this Bob Akuma tier. He's a very complicated character. He's not beginner friendly. I'm assuming he was taken out of 7 for low pick rates. He came into 7 very late in the game. Actually, it wasn't very late. I think he came out the same time as Anna, which was around Season 2, maybe? But he just does not have a high pick rate, I don't think. I don't have any data to back that up, just based on what I've seen. And with the new beginner-friendly direction of Tekken 8, I don't think he fits that mold. Leo, already in the game. Leroy, already in the game. Lily, already in the game. Lucky Chloe... maybe down here somewhere. I mean... I didn't have a big problem with Lucky Chloe as a lot of people did. When I first saw Lucky Chloe, I wasn't a fan, but when I played her, she was actually a lot of fun. I played her for about 2 or 3 weeks right after 7 came out and then just kind of dropped her. But she was fun, but I don't think we'll see Lucky Chloe anytime soon. She's one of those like Tekken 7 throwaway characters. It was just like, hey, here's a character for this game, but doesn't really have any real plot relevance or any impact, just kind of is here. Marduk, probably a better chance than Kunimitsu, to be honest. You know, the Vale Tudo string was in the game's files, so I don't know if it's a leftover or red herring a la Ed Boon, but I definitely think Namco was at least thinking about this guy. So I think he's got a good chance of coming back. I don't really know how popular this guy is, but in tournaments you saw him a lot because he was so strong. Master Raven, there's no chance of this. They're not going to just put another Raven in the game, unless it's like a premium costume later on. Michelle Chang, very unlikely, I think. I guess it's possible that she could show up as a DLC instead of Julia, but I just don't think so. I think it would be Julia. If you start to think about the characters as like functions and her moveset, I just think Julia would represent it because only old heads like me remember Michelle Chang. This guy, Miguel, one of my least favorite characters. I think he still has a really good chance of being in the game. You know, he was a console edition. I think he was initially not in the arcade version of Tekken 7. Maybe he was. Came along with like Eddie and Lee for the initial console release. I guess he could be in the game. You know, I saw somebody online say one time that the problem with Miguel is that they're trying to rebuild Jin's image as the hero. But Miguel's whole purpose for existing is to like beat Jin up because he was responsible for his sister's death during his whole evil era back in Tekken 6. But that said, I do think Miguel is a good choice for DLC. I think he's a character they would like to sell for DLC. Miharu Hirano, no chance. She's just Xiao Yu. I think we got no chance of Mokujin because you wouldn't sell a random select character. No chance of Negan, just for obvious reasons. Nina is already in the game. Noctis, you have Victor, and he's a guest character. And he had no story relevance. I don't see Namco paying to put this guy in the game. Even though I think, I remember reading, he was the most popular, like, guest character. Like, more people played the game because of him. I'm not sure how they got that statistic. But Noctis did bring a lot of people in. So, maybe, you know, I would see him going for somebody like Tifa Lockhart before I would this guy, though. Because now that you know the Final Fantasy connection works, why would you go back to this guy from front of one of the worst Final Fantasy games there is, and not pick somebody like Tifa, who's an absolute home run? Then again, maybe I'm answering my own question, because if this guy brought in the most players, and Namco comes knocking and says, we want to put Tifa, well, I think everybody knows how popular Tifa Lockhart is, so Square Enix is going to be like, it's going to cost you, mate, and they're going to be there with a hand outstretched. Panda's already in the game, Paul's in the game. Prototype freaking Jack. I'm going to put in very unlikely. The only reason I don't put as no chance is because Prototype Jack might show up again as a costume, or he might be some sort of like retooled brand new moveset that comes out later. But I think that's super duper unlikely. I don't think that's very likely at all. Raven, already in the game. Rodeo, if you don't remember who Rodeo is, I wouldn't blame you. He was an exclusive character to Tekken Mobile, game that got shut down before it was ever even released internationally, if I remember correctly. Let's put him at the very top of no chance, teetering on very unlikely. Nobody remembers who this guy is. He was extremely generic for what he was released in. He's going to need some major overhauls. I mean, he's very similar to Paul Phoenix, if you ask me. He's just like a younger more American Paul Phoenix. I don't think Rodeo is going to make it in. I'm going to say no chance for Sebastian. He's just a Lily clone. Shaheen, of course, already in. This is Taekwondo Girl, aka Sun Woo, I think was her name. I think the pinball's talking again. I think no chance. Don't think we're going to see her. I mean, obviously she's got a better chance than like these guys. But I just don't know why you would put... It would be really hard to make her different enough from Harong that justified paying for. And then you gotta differentiate her from Bayek too, because it's like, well, why not just bring back Bayek if you wanted more Taekwondo? I think Bayek would sell more because people know who he is, whereas this character, a lot of, like even hardcore Tekken people are not gonna know who Sun Woo is. Slim Bob, down here with Sebastian, just another Tekken Tag 2 special mimic character. Steve, of course, already in the game. Kenjin, or Tetsujin rather, no. That's just a silver Mokujin, that's not going to happen. Tiger Jackson, if Tiger Jackson happens, it will be as a costume. It will not be as a full-fledged paid character. So I'm going to put him pretty low. True Ogre, you got to put up here with the other Ogre. He's just too important to the story. And you know, the story is focused on Heihachi, the story add-on, so I don't see an opportunity for these guys. I don't see that happening. Unknown, very, very unlikely. You know, just a character that is kind of a Tekken Tag exclusive thing, and I don't know. Once you cross the boundary into mainline with her, you can't go back. So I think that Namco likes having Unknown as Unknown, and so that's where she will remain for the time being. Violet, we'll just go ahead and say he's already in the game. Wong Jinrei, I think there's a good chance for Wong Jinrei. He would need some heavy updates, but you know, he's not a hated character. He's a character that has been absent since Tekken Tag 2, but a lot of people really liked him, so I think he could come back. But they would have to make some major changes from his moveset to differentiate him between, you know, the Chang, because originally he was a Michelle Chang clone. So he's got to have some changes. Xiao Yu, Yoshi, Zafina, Lydia, I forgot her name, Azucena, Victor, and then Reina, of course, already in the game. So here's what we got, guys. So I'm saying that there's a very good chance we could be looking at Anna Williams, Armor King, Miguel, Wang Jinrei. For very possible, I had Marduk, Kunimitsu 2, Alex and/or Roger, Fahkumram, Josie, and Bruce. For less likely, we're going to say Katarina, Julia / JC, and then one of the ogres. Part of me going back wishes I'd moved this lower, but we'll just keep it here for now. And then very unlikely, you got Lei, Bob, Akuma, Dr. B, Eliza, Lily, Ganryu, Jinpachi, Michelle Chang, Prototype Jack, and Unknown. And then the characters I'm saying have no chance are, of course, Rodeo, Sunwoo, Angel, Miharu, Sebastian, Gigas, Bayek Bob, Slim Bob that is, Tiger Christie, Combat, Mokujin, Tetsujin, Kazumi, Negan, Noctis, Geese, Gon, and Master Raven. That's kind of my thoughts. Just looking at it and coming up with the reasoning that I can picture in my head. This is what I see. And again, I'm saying it's very possible that we get a guest character or a brand new character. So that's just my take on it. I'm looking at this list now and like second guessing myself on a lot of this because it's just such an impossible thing to guess. But this is what we're going to go with, guys. So what do you think? Who will that fourth character be? Who should it be? You know, who do you think the fourth character should be? Should it be one of these guys? Should it be one of these guys? Or should it just be something completely new? Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for logging on to the Trinternet.